Hey guys, so we landed in Singapore last night and we're going to be going around trying to find what the most affordable / free things to do here in Singapore are. So if that interests you at all, make sure you stick around for the video.
The largest fountain in the world.
We're going to the airport, so it's Singapore.
Woo!
New country, let's go.
I'm excited. We have just arrived at the airport in Jakarta, ready to check in.
It's currently 10:06 and our flight isn't until 10:15 tonight, so we're going to eat. So what do I want? I fancy a Burger King because I'm a Western fat boy. So I click Burger King and then the car find it and it shows me where I got to walk on the airport. That is fancy.
This airport is really fancy, Jakarta airport.
Really sick airport.
Yeah,
When we
lots
first
of
come in we had to
fancy
get our bag scanned.
Yeah, when you first walk in the door you get your bag scanned. Yeah, lots of like fancy restaurants, cafes, shops. It's nice.
We've just checked in. We'll go to security now. Singapore.
Singapore.
Everyone's got to fill out a SG arrival card. It applies to all travellers, even including Singapore residents.
We have arrived. We're in our room at 2:30 in the morning. This is our room. This room was, wait for it,
£75 a night.
£75 a night.
And we're going to stay here until 11 AM. If that.
This is the most expensive room we've stayed in so far in all of our travels.
Feel a bit sick paying that sort of money. And it was one of the cheaper ones as well. There was no hostels or anything, was there? We booked it late. We did book our accommodation late. We're on our bus to our next accommodation. We had a right mess up with the accommodation. We had to book a hotel last night, which got there like to 2:30. And now we're going to a hostel. Because I think it was £75 for 2 nights for the hostel. It's £75 for 1 night at the hotel. So we've had to move this morning. So it's been a bit manic. Wait for a taxi, couldn't get a taxi. So now we're on a bus, which obviously is way cheaper, but we didn't know we could get a bus, so we're trying it. But it's so good, so far so good.
A little bit of home, that.
Alright. So, did you tap it?
I didn't know how to do it.
So we just got to the hostel.
Stranger.
Telling Soph she's a
Told me to
stranger.
put my mask on and said that I'm a stranger. So we've just got to our next accommodation. It is OSS Backpackers Hostel. Yeah, it's standard. £75 for 2 nights for both of us. A little bit more expensive than what we're used to paying. But yeah, we messed up there. It's a double bed at least. Not in 2 single beds.
They haven't made it yet.
No, we got here a bit early, didn't we?
Yeah, we're going to go explore now.
So we're having breakfast at our hostel safely because there's some free like toast and coffee and stuff here.
Nice. Loving Singapore already.
Good first impressions. We like
Very
it.
good. It's
Nice.
like being back at home.
It's nice. It's facilities, the transport. It's really easy to get around.
It's a business capital of the world, isn't it? So a lot of money in and out of this place, so that's why they can improve their infrastructure and stuff like that. It's nice to feel a little bit more at home.
We have arrived at our first tourist destination in Singapore. It is the Botanic Gardens, and they actually have a garden festival on at the minute. Singapore Garden Festival, so we've timed that well.
It's on for just this week.
Yeah, so that'd be cool. So we're going to go check that out, and it is a free thing to do here. So all you need to pay for is your transport here. So we got on the bus from outside our hotel. You can get taxis around in Singapore, but they are much more expensive. There are Grabs and Gojeks here, but they're probably
expensive.
double, triple the price of everywhere else in Southeast Asia. So the cheapest way to get around is by bus or metro.
Let me just put this into perspective for you. Last night we got a 20-minute taxi and it cost us £18. In anywhere in Southeast Asia we've been before that, we were paying anywhere between £1 to £2 maximum.
But yeah, let's go check this garden festival out. So this is like the first bit of the festival. I think it's like little sculptures. I'm not really sure what, but it looks cool.
They're like exhibitions, look. Singapore Garden Festival.
I can't help but feeling this is meant to be.
There's otters! Let's hope we see some otters. I love otters. They're cute. So we're just walking around the gardens now. They are huge. We're walking to the next bit, which is like 650 metres away. National Orchid Garden, which I think is like the main bit in here. It's really nice so far. Really, really pretty gardens. And yeah, it's hot. What is it?
One of those lizards.
The monitor.
It's just casual walking around. Oh, cute.
I can't stay away. I just keep on moving till you're next to me. You got a key to my heart, it's always open. I feel good, 'cause in my heart I know it's you that I've chosen.
We're going into the rainforest. Go.
They've got thousands of species of plants in this Botanic Gardens. So cool.
And they've labelled every single one of them.
Yeah.
Nice to have a little stroll through this rainforest, seeing a little bit of wildlife, some cool trees. Yeah, really nice.
Cute squirrel.
So we was going to go into the National Orchid Garden, but you've actually got to pay for it. It's $15, 15 Singapore dollars, which is equivalent to about £9 English money. So we're not going to go for that one just because we're trying to do this on a budget. We're trying to do it cheaper. We're trying to find free / really cheap things to do. And as we've seen some beautiful flowers anyway, we kind of feel that you don't really need to spend that money to go in there. I'm sure it's amazing, I'm sure it's beautiful, but we personally are going to give it a miss.
This place is huge. Like, there's plenty of things to see in this Botanic Garden. You don't have to go there.
interesting facts about Swan Lake. In the Gardens annual report, dated 1892, it was mentioned a crocodile, which escaped just 2 years earlier, had taken up residence in the lake. Despite best efforts to capture it, it became dangerous having seized one of the coolies, whoever coolies is, while he was drawing water. Following the incidents, the lake's water was drained off in order to capture and destroy the crocodile. Along with this exercise, the lake was also thoroughly cleaned for water lilies and other aquatics to be planted. They got rid of all the water just to get the crocodile. It's mental.
Because it was killing people.
It's dangerous, yeah. I am trying my hardest to stick to the shaded areas today. It is 32 degrees, it is so hot. Very humid here in Singapore. It's a little bit different to what we're used to. Look at this.
Very fancy.
It's very fancy, isn't it?
Yeah. We're going to go and see apparently the world's biggest fountain now, and it's inside there.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It's called Bell's Baking Studio. They're just on show. Baking in the middle of a shopping centre.
Yeah, it looks like they're having a lesson or something.
Things you don't see in England.
So this is, according to Guinness World Book of Records, the largest fountain in the world, and it is at Suntec City. And that is another free thing you can do here. You can see this.
Very pretty.
We'd love to get in it.
Imagine being in that.
Yeah. It's very hot in Singapore. So, what do you think of Singapore?
So far, I love Singapore, other than the fact it's very hot. When you're in aircon places, it's sick. It's like all quite posh, you know what I mean? Like, not like fancy. So yeah, it's a bit of like sort of being in London type feels, but yeah, I really enjoy it. There's some beautiful things to see, although I have a bit of a bad stomach at the moment, so I am struggling a little bit with the day's ventures, but I'm going to power through. And we're going to go to the Gardens by the Bay, where you see the nighttime light show and stuff. All the trees are light up and the beautiful nature. So I'm excited for that, and I'll power through for it. Yeah, I like it. What about you?
Yeah, I really like it here. It's got a nice feel about it. Like, nice atmosphere. It's all like nice and clean. The streets are clean. There's no rubbish about. They keep it well maintained here. People are really nice and friendly. Transport is really efficient, easy to get around. Yeah, I like it. It's good.
You excited for the nature garden?
I am, yeah.
We just stopped to get some water. Yeah, so we're in the shopping mall where the big fountain is, and it's quite hard to find like a supermarket where they just sell like normal water or something like that. So we stopped off at a place called Simple Burgers and got a couple of waters, but we've realised we haven't eaten all day other than that toast earlier. So we've just got some French fries. They were £1.50 for a portion of French fries. We're going to share. We don't know when we're going to eat again. So yeah, we haven't gone like actively looking for food yet. So we're not entirely sure how to advise on that right now. But let's see. We got so. Nice. Trying out the train now.
Yes, we're getting on the metro. So we are in the metro now. First time trying out the metro. It's pretty easy. You can use contactless everywhere. It's like London. And we're going to Gardens by the Bay.
So we're here in the garden
Gardens of the Bay.
Gardens of the Bay. Basically, you can pay to go in all of these buildings, like, and on them and stuff like that. You can pay for all the different levels of what you want to do, or you can just walk in and see the light show for free, which kicks off at
7:45.
So we're gonna go with the free one because otherwise it can just add up. You got to pay for every single one, or else you can pick and choose which one you want.
There's about 5 different like gardens here, like in domes, like greenhouses basically, and they're like $10, $15 each.
Yeah, quite pricey. They can add up, and also we're trying to do it as cheap as possible. So we're just gonna enjoy the light show in a little while, and we'll show you guys how it goes.
As we embark on an adventure to magical lands amongst the super trees. Tonight we present the Enchanted Woods. Pick a spot, grab your cameras, and enjoy the show.
We actually had to stop filming there because I actually got really ill. That day I was just declining and I was feeling worse and worse and worse. And by the end of the day I felt terrible. I'll go into more detail about it in the next video, so make sure you tune in if you want to see us do more exploring of Singapore. But thank you guys for watching, we really appreciate it. Hit that like button if you enjoyed our video, hit subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you next time, bye!
You wouldn't expect this to be in Jakarta. It's a chaotic, busy capital city. A lot of people find it a bit too much, a bit overwhelming, and don't really explore the city and just use it as a hub.